Skin that smoke wagon and see what happens.
How's that for a slice of fried gold?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know how this machine worked.
It seems to run on some form of electricity.
And it was wrong. It was a bad call, Ripley. It was a bad call.
Bad call.
Some are good for fighting, others for dying.
It's Just Two Movies.
Welcome back to another episode of It's Just Two Movies. My name is Daniel King. In the studio with me this evening
is Jackson.
Jackson's back. Eat that mic a little bit, Jackson.
I don't want to eat the mic.
Eat the mic. There we go. Okay. So, a couple of things up top. Just want to get these out of the way. Number one, I am a little under the weather. I apologize for that. Took a COVID test, so that's negative, obviously, or we wouldn't be here. But I'm very snotty. I have a nasty cough. I'm very, very congested. So I do apologize if I sound a little off or if there's any like weird snot bubble sounds that I don't pick up in post. Apologies for that.
And I apologize for not matching Danny's sickness. That way the consistency isn't there.
Step your fucking game up,
Weak.
This is also, we're recording on some new equipment. We've made some pretty drastic changes to the studio in here. Still got a couple more things I'm going to do, but this has been a thing that I have been kind of putting off for the last 6 months.
Yeah, I brought in a black light.
Yes, that's the difference. No, we're using a whole different recording interface. I'm using some newer software that I hadn't used before. So there's a couple of different things that are different for me. So if anything about the quality is different, please do let me know. Contact us at justtwomovies@gmail.com. Anyway, if it's your first time tuning into the show, we don't ramble about shit like that. What we do is we talk about two movies.
And we ramble about those two movies.
We ramble about those, not about techie stuff. So who picks the movies? Well, we flip-flop. Sometimes I pick them, sometimes the guest picks them. We have a whole rotating library of good fellows and friends that we have on the show. Jackson, one among them, this was your pick. This is our first episode back from the Ween.
First.
And also episode 99.
That's a cheers. That's a cheers right here.
Up top,
Salute.
yep.
Yeah, episode 99. I think it's a big deal.
Yeah, no, I would absolutely
You've done
agree.
99 times 2 movies.
Technically more if you're counting the news, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, dude. You've been on it. This is pretty awesome, man.
Consistency, I think, is key. Whether anybody listens to this or not, I think it's consistent that I go through the trouble anyway.
At one point in the far future, they're going to look back on the history of the internet, and they're like, all right, who are these dummies recording themselves and putting it out on air?
And somebody will get all my dick and fart jokes.
Well, and they're like, oh, we recovered this masterpiece nobody ever knew.
What was human comedy like? There it is. There's an example right there. All right, so this was your pick for the movie. We got to get into it. This was your pick for the movie, and you went with, it's so funny because the first time I was ever like, hey, Jackson, you want to be on the show? You're like, what is it? And I kind of explained it to you, and you're like, well, I guess I could do like Cool Hand Luke or something. And I was like, I would be down for that because Cool Hand Luke is like, it's in my top 20 for sure. It was in my top 10 for fucking ever, but there are just so many movies that I've been exposed to through the show that have really kind of broadened my horizons, but it's still in my top 20. A fucking amazing film.
Yeah, so Cool Hand Luke for me, I don't know where I picked it up, but it felt like one of those movies that, like when you were a kid, you went over to like your grandma or grandpa's or whatever, and
they were watching.
And they were
watching Cool Hand Luke.
Well, they're watching maybe like an old movie or old like show. It's like, why the hell are they watching that? And then like you get to a certain age and you watch one of those shows and it's like, oh, that's actually kind of fun. This one, you just gotta sit down and actually watch it, and it's like, oh, that's actually amazing.
Oh, it's a banger. Yeah, it's a banger of a fucking movie. So a couple of things about Cool Hand Luke. If you are not familiar, it is a PG-rated 1967 crime drama. 2 hour, 6 minute runtime is what it says here on Google. That's probably right on.
Yeah.
I don't know about you. I watched it on HBO Max.
I watched it on YouTube.
Nice. Okay. Either way. It's got a 8.1 out of 10 on IMDb, 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, 92% on Metacritic. Yep, 83% of Google users like this movie. So...
Are we going to rate it right now?
I don't think Jackson and I have any hot takes on this movie that's rated in the like high 80s to 90s to 100s across the board. We like it. I think it's safe to say we both like it, so we're not gonna tell you anything crazy about it. Initial release date was November the 1st, 1967. Directed by Stuart Rosenberg, screenplay by Don Pierce and Frank Pearson. Starring
Mr. Paul Newman,
a salad dressing man, Paul Newman, George Kennedy, just a house of a man, Strother Martin, Joe Van Fleet, Lou Antonio, Dennis Hopper. It's weird seeing young Dennis Hopper in this, and Joy Harmon as the girl.
The girl. Which girl?
The girl washing the car.
Oh,
yeah,
that girl.
I think it's weird. She's billed. Yeah. So Jackson, here's what I want to know. This is the burning question deep inside me. Is what do you think the movie was about?
This movie,
without spoiling it. No spoilers.
No spoilers.
What's it about?
It's about a man and his uncontrollable will against authoritarian figures.
Yeah, I would say that's pretty right on. He is just a man simply raging against the machine in every way he sees fit.
He's just a free man. He's just free.
He sure is.
Free, and no matter what box or cage you put this guy in, he's going to be free. And like you can't hold a spirit that's free.
So how would you say, like, what do you think we should do to, how should we go about talking about this movie? Like, I'm trying to work out if it's best to just real fast go, blah, 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 this is the whole movie, or if it's better to actually go, okay, this happened to him first, and then he did this other thing. And
that's a good question. Let's think.
Or should we leave some to the imagination and just talk about the stuff?
I mean, there's some great scenes to kind of pick apart that are like, I think if we talk about like him as a character, and then go into like what scenes work, like why it makes him such a great character to watch. I think that's maybe the approach, right?
Well, I tell you what, like you can check out this movie. Like I said, it's on HBO. But like watching something like this from the '60s, you're like, wow, we really have come a long way in like cinematography and the way that films are actually put together. But man, this is a prime example of storytelling still being number one as the benchmark.
Yeah, there's storytelling, and there's even like a lot of symbolic stuff going on. It's like, oh, there's a lot symbolism. I was ready to say symbology.
I got you.
It's like, oh, I'm not gonna say that word. It's the wrong word. I don't know what that means.
It's so funny, man, because it was oh God, it's in Boondock Saints when he's like, "What's the symbology or whatever?" And he's like, "Symbolism."
No,
the word is symbol, but everybody I know has seen that movie
because it was Boondock Saints.
Yep.
That motherfucker.
Actually, I think there is I think the word symbology actually does have a proper, like in the English language, there is a time to use the word symbology. It's not like
I don't need to know it unless I'm in that exact situation. So let's not go there.
Yeah, no, it's good. We're fine.
So you just reminded me.
So what I want to say, no, go ahead. If I reminded you of a thing, lay it out there.
Our first movie that we did on the podcast was the pool movie.
It was the pool movie. It's a movie about swimming pools.
What was that movie?
Color Money.
Color
Boom.
Money.
Got it.
With Tom Cruise and Paul Newman.
Yep.
And then maybe that's where I brought up.
Oh man, and we're at episode 99, and we're back to Newman.
We're back to Newman.
Fucking Newman's own, baby.
He's fucking amazing.
But also, I do want to say, Paul Newman, amazing humanitarian. Have you ever had Newman's own dressing?
Ranch?
There's all kinds of them.
Oh, yeah.
God, they're delicious.
I mean, if you're going to put your label on something,
personally,
put it on ranch.
Personally, I'm a Ken's Steakhouse man. That's my go-to. Let me get that Ken's Steakhouse Light Caesar, but I do like Newman's. He's got the only French dressing I actually like.
So if you think about things that you put your name on as a brand, like you got like George Foreman Grills, right?
All proceeds go to charity. Did you know that?
That's amazing.
On Newman's own since fucking forever. He's been making that fucking dressing since like the 80s or some shit.
So nonprofit.
Nonprofit
no wonder ranch tastes amazing.
Salad dressing company. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they put some money back into the company to make more of the product, obviously, right. But yeah, no, all profit that they make from that is supposed to
Newman's
go straight
gonna live
to charity.
forever.
He might.
I think
it's fucked up. We should put him on the. Which one's the racist president on the 5? No, that's Lincoln. Which one is it? It's got. Which one's a Jackson?
Oh, that's
10?
me.
Is he on the tenor?
Is he racist?
No, Andrew Jackson. Well, he like had slaves and shit, and he was kind
of
he was kind of a piece of shit. But
it's always It's
Now,
always a perspective of history of where you're at in time.
yeah, exactly. Well, it's one of those things where it's like actually looking back on it now, we're all like,
It's like,
you know,
well,
he was
yeah.
kind of a, he was kind of a,
He's kind of
he
a
wasn't
dick,
really a great guy.
but at the same time,
think about the other people that are on our money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's no reason for him to be on any money.
but nobody
he's
else is.
Kind of an asshole. No, not really. But you could put Paul Newman. You could put Paul Newman on there.
Yeah, or Gerald Ford.
Oh, hell yeah. You could put Gerald Ford on some money, yeah.
Yeah, like if you're not liked
Or
by,
me.
or yeah,
I could be on a half-cent piece,
half cent.
if that's a thing.
I don't think those are things anymore. They used to be
Could
things.
be. We're bringing
Used
it
to be
back.
like,
The half-cent piece.
What was the Depression era cent thing?
Oh god,
A penny wheat.
fucking
A wheat penny.
freedom notes or whatever they
A
were.
wheat penny.
No, I'm thinking of
Oh.
Civil War era. Anyway, doesn't matter. We're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Cool Hand Luke.
Cool Hand Luke.
Speaking of war, you know who was in the war? Cool Hand Luke was.
Was he? I didn't catch that part.
Yeah, he was a war hero. He had a couple of brass stars, couple of silver stars, couple of purple hearts.
So let's run through who Cool Hand Luke is.
Well, let me tell you something about Cool Hand Luke. Number one, most relatable dude in the world to me, not because he's cool or super handsome or Paul Newman, but the fact that when the movie opens up, he's just drunk, destroying public property.
He gets
I
2
love it
years
so.
for it.
Yeah,
2 years.
2 years. He's cutting the head off parking meters, and even he goes and he tells people because he's locked up. He gets sent to this prison work camp, and they're like, "Why are you here?" He's like, "I was cutting the head off parking meters," and they're like, "Why?" And he's like, "I don't know. It seemed like I was bored, didn't have much to do, passing time."
And I mean,
So you've got a guy who was like a war hero, who's come back. He's bored.
bored, drunk. What to do with my life here?
Yeah, and
It's
he
like
just gets a fucking pipe cutter and starts cutting these things
every
up.
young man in their early 20s, like, all right, well, now what?
He just kind of got an axe to grind against the system. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So Paul Newman in this is Cool Hand Luke.
He is Cool Hand Luke.
He is representative of just somebody that is not going to bow down to any establishment or any figure or any authoritarian process. Like he's gonna live by his own code, by his own standards.
He gonna die by him too.
And he's gonna die by him too. But he's okay with that because he lives.
Yeah,
But he understands what life is.
he might have died, but he was a free man.
He was living the entire time.
even though he was in prison. He was a free man in prison.
Yes.
And I think that's what makes this such a fucking beautiful story. A couple of things that I'm like, I fucking love this shit.
So before you get into that,
Okay,
sorry,
okay,
I
no,
don't
no,
like
go
I'm
ahead.
cutting you off. My bad. But
Go ahead.
before you get into that, Cool Hand Luke, it's a jail movie. He gets
Sorta. I don't even know if I would call that a jail.
Right.
It's like a work camp.
it's like a work camp.
It's like a as far
Wyoming
as
or
like
something.
by like modern prison standards, that's fucking summer camp.
You know what I never realized was that this movie had to be the origination movie of Life. You ever seen the movie Life with Martin
Oh
Lawrence
hell yeah,
and
yeah,
Eddie Murphy? It has to be. It has to be the origination because there's the fight scene. There's like the security guards in their out houses.
Yeah, it could be. They probably borrowed some material. from this.
100% they had to.
Why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, huh.
But yeah,
That's a pretty good observation, Jackson.
I was
Good
like,
job. You have seen this movie. Good work.
I have, and I've seen Life. Life is one of my favorite movies.
And man, I like what's the oh brother, where art thou?
Oh yeah,
I love that one too. I love a good jailbreak.
yeah. It's a
I
good.
love a good jailbreak.
Yeah. So this movie's it takes place in a jail, but it's more about being free.
Again, jail. We're using that term pretty loosely. It is literally a fence and 3 cabins. It's 3 cabins inside of a fence, but all the inmates are in one cabin with a guard.
But that brings me to think, like in 1960 or 1970, there wasn't like huge jails, like prisons. Were there?
Oh, absolutely.
were there?
Yeah. When was fucking Alcatraz? When was that? That was like in the, let's see here.
okay.
When was?
But yeah, still about 2 years for like hitting a parking meter.
Yeah, Alcatraz was built in 1934.
Okay.
This is a non-violent offense, though. This is a dude that just cut up he destroyed some municipal property, and he's just being a drunk asshole, which I love. I've been drunk before and wanted to be like, yeah, fuck the man. So you like him immediately
Yeah.
because he just doesn't give a shit.
Doesn't care. He
Nah.
does not. He's gonna live by his will, by his standards of what life should be.
So what do you think of the captain? He gets to this like work camp thing, and there's the captain. He's got kind of an effeminate voice, and he's the guy that everybody always quotes. And they're like, "What we have here
Is
is a failure to communicate." That's my least favorite thing about the movie Cool Hand Luke is when I say that to somebody who's
Never heard it.
my age or older, and they go, "What we have here is a
Oh.
failure to communicate." Yes, I know that you know the line,
But they don't know where it's from.
no, they might not even know where it's from. But the guy that plays the captain, God, I think he's so delightful.
He
When he's
is.
talking to him, he's like, "Listen here, I can be a real good guy or I can be a real some bitch."
It's like nobody likes you. That's
Yeah.
what I get.
Nobody does like him, and he is the man
Yeah.
for all intents and purposes.
So yeah, so we have the man as the captain of like setting the standard for his prison, right? And
Yep.
what he expects and what you're gonna do, yada yada. And Luke's just like, all right, 2 years.
It's kind of like the military. You call the captain, you call everybody else boss.
He's very respectful of everybody.
Yep.
But he's like, I will be respectful because I want to be respectful. But I will also do things the way I want to do them, not because I'm being told
Right.
that you want me to do it that way.
I saw or heard a thing that was like, and I thought it was quite good. It was in American culture, we use the word respect two ways. Number one, respect people. I'm a person, they're a person, respect them as a person. Number two, as authoritative. Respect my authority, respect the fact that I am in charge.
Yeah.
So that it has a dual meaning. And sometimes people will say, if you don't respect me, I won't respect you. But what they mean is, if you won't respect me as authority, I won't respect you as a person.
Dang.
And right. And that is the thing that Luke doesn't ever let get under his skin.
But he
The-
never bows to either. He
Yeah,
puts
the
them
right-
on. He puts that authoritarian person down to human level and saying, "You're the same as me, motherfucker.
Right.
Like you're gonna live. We're on this damn planet spinning through space
Yeah.
together. You are no better than me."
To clarify, he doesn't say any of that, but
That'd be amazing.
that would be amazing. And he's like, "Listen here, we're on this rock traveling 38,000 miles an hour. I can fucking feel it." Cool Hand Luke, we're fucking loving it. He's getting into his work camp. One thing I fucking love about this movie is like when they go out for their work day, they're like their work detail. They're like essentially the highway department.
Yeah.
So they're doing what prisoners do now. They're picking up trash off the side of the road,
Well-
but there's not really trash. There's just weeds.
It's basically a chain gang.
So they're not giving them scythes because they're prisoners. So they get the old school fucking weed whacker. And how would you describe the old school weed whacker to somebody who'd never seen it?
So it's like a.
It's like a broom, but
It's like
instead
a-
of a broom end, it's like a
So like if you have a rake, like an old school rake, like,
Yeah.
I don't know if there's an old school rake anymore. Like a rake, right?
Okay.
So like you have the wooden handle.
Yeah.
At the bottom, instead of it being a rake, it is a two-sided metal fork.
Holy shit.
Is that right?
Yeah, you're pretty
Okay.
close. You're pretty close. I think that'll get them there visually speaking. Yeah, so you've got this thing and you just have to like pick it up over your head and fucking like whack the ground with it, and it rips the weeds out and cuts some of them and shit. And it looks like fucking hell on earth.
It looks like hell, but also like if you ever done hard work, it's like that's probably a good day.
Yeah, it's so fucking dusty out there. It's never rained. It rains twice in the movie, but I swear to God, it's never rained at that place when they're working.
Well, it did rain once.
It's so fucking
because-
arid. It rained or once or twice. Anyway, it doesn't matter. They do a really good job of making the fact that like this is a prison work camp.
Yes.
They make it look like fucking work, buddy.
Yeah.
I mean, it just looks awful. Like absolutely fucking grueling.
It looks like it looks hellish as far as like, man, I would hate for my day to day to be able to wake up, do this bullshit every single day, and you feel that authoritarian presence on you, forcing you to do it every single day. It's like, ugh,
Oh yeah.
go to sleep, work, go to sleep, work.
What do you think of George Kennedy as Dragline?
Great. Perfect.
I thought so too. Like he's sharp enough to be charismatic, but he's also dumb enough to be like, you're kind of stupid, aren't you?
So, well, he's dumb enough to be respectable. But no, hon, I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to say that. Like, he's dumb, but he understands more than what he has like street smarts, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe I'll liken it to that. Like,
All right.
he understands the human presence at that level. Like,
Okay.
at a level that maybe someone.
He's good at bullshitting.
Yeah.
He's real good at bullshitting. He's good at palling around, you know. I get old dudes in my work that come in and they want somebody to pal around with for half an hour, and I'm like, I'd love to sit here and shoot the shit with the old timer. I really would, but I got shit to do, man.
I got things to do.
Yeah,
man.
you gotta go, bro.
So Dragline is this. He's the prison bully.
He's the coolest guy at the prison camp.
Yeah, like nobody messes with him.
King of the roost.
Yes. So like, if you want something done or if you want permission inside the camp, he's your guy.
Yeah.
But guess what? Luke doesn't give a shit.
No, he doesn't. He does not give two fucks about Dragline. I really like the way their relationship fucking pans out, and he's like, "Oh yeah, war hero Luke." He's calling him other names or whatever, and one day he's like, Luke smarts off to him, and he's like, "All right, tomorrow, you, me, in the fucking yard, boy."
Yeah.
God, and this is what I mean by filmmaking has come a long way. That fight that they have, Dragline and fucking Luke,
it wasn't great.
God, it's not good, and it lasts forever. But I think the impression that they're getting is that he just keeps getting back up.
Yeah, the lasting forever is part of, like, oh, everybody starts like, oh, okay, kind of feel sorry for him now. Like even like Dragline people start walks away.
Yeah,
like,
people start walking away from him. They're like, this is kind of
like,
fucking,
he might die.
Man. Yeah, you might kill him.
And Luke's like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, he really is, which is quite charming. Yeah, I like. He's just like, let him fucking beat me to death.
Well, if I die, I lived.
Next day, he's not really licking his wounds. Like, he hasn't changed anything about the way he's gonna do business.
No.
Because he's let Dragline know, yeah, you're fucking twice my size. Of course you can beat the shit out of me, but
I will stand there and bang with you every single day.
You're gonna have to fucking do it all day, baby.
Yeah.
And I know you don't want to. Nobody wants to beat the shit out of somebody all day, every day. That just makes it work.
That's one of the. If I had to explain something to somebody that I would never like want to deal with, is somebody that never gave up. Like, if you could beat the crap out of somebody, like, you lose a fight, all right, cool. But if that guy kept coming back to your doorstep every day, said, all right, let's do it again.
Yeah.
You would not want that in your life. That's it's like, oh God, I gotta deal with this.
It's become your life at that point, yeah.
And that's what Luke is like, you know what? You can win this battle. I don't care. I'll make it a war, though.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So he's being cool. They invite him to play cards now that he's, had his licks.
Yeah.
And he's in there playing cards. He keeps raising this guy $1. Now, this is in the 60s where
it's probably like $20.
Yeah, it's probably comparable. It's probably like $20. I think it's also weird that all the inmates have so much money.
That is a little weird.
So anyway, he's got him. He keeps raising him. And he's like, oh man, the guy eventually, does he fold?
Yeah, the guy folds. He's like, he has to have kings.
Yeah.
Well, Dragline's behind the guy, coaching him basically.
Oh yeah, he's like, no, call him. He ain't got shit.
Yeah, he keeps telling him like, call. And then at the end, he's like, he's got kings. You better fold.
Yeah. Well, he didn't have kings. He didn't have shit. And he's like, man, you didn't have nothing. You could have beat him with nothing. Like, and he's like, hey man, sometimes nothing's a pretty cool hand.
Perfect line.
And he's like, ooh man, all right, Cool Hand Luke. There it is. Gets his nickname.
I mean, roll credits.
So Cool Hand Luke, you wish roll credits. There's fucking a whole lot more movie, but it's like shortly after this, they get visitation. And Luke's mom shows up.
Which, man, that's a tough scene to like just watch.
It is a tough.
It's a very like real. It's a very like real scene.
Oh yeah.
And like you didn't. I don't think I expected it. Like,
no, it puts you way back there too, because it's like she's fucking laid up in the back of that fucking pickup truck with like a tarp over it or whatever, because she can't, I guess, ride up front.
And she's smoking. She's like
clearly
she sounds
dying.
Like
she's fucking dying. Yeah.
And she's just like, she's bullshitting with her son, and it's weird. Their interactions are a little weird, but like it's like, oh, I kind of get it. Like if you watch it, it's like, oh yeah, I get their dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
Because like he says not mom, he says
Arletta.
And I always thought like, oh, that's a little weird, but I was like, you know what? that's how
He does call her Ma later.
right.
But there's some people that call their parents by their first name. It's where we're from. I think it's like a little more like it's kind of a disrespectful thing. But you know what I mean? Like if your parents weren't around for you and didn't fucking really raise you, I probably would call them by their first names.
Yeah.
But yeah. So anyway, he sees her. It's kind of heart wrenching. She's like, "I'm not gonna see you when you get out because I'll be dead."
Yeah, well, she was kind of like, I was like, oh, well, there's a few things during that conversation where she's like, they put a lot of, not pressure, but like, we expected a lot from you, your mom and your dad. And,
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, don't you think that's a heavy burden to, to carry?
Yeah.
She's like, well, we thought you're strong enough.
Right.
He's like, fuck you.
Fucking, yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, no, fucking really like that. And she talks about his dad. And she's like, "Oh, your dad could always make me smile." And
Yeah.
he's like, he always seemed like kind of a son of a bitch, but I'd like to meet him the way you talk about him.
And he is the chip off the old block.
She tells Luke she's leaving the farm to his brother because she never loved his brother the way she loved him.
Right.
And she felt like she owed him something because sometimes you just don't have that parental instinct for every
Man,
child.
You just gave me goosebumps by saying that because I'm like, damn.
That's a real fucking thing, man. That is hard. You wouldn't put shit like that in your movie today because you get fucking canceled over it. But it's true, man. Some parents they love the shit out of one kid, don't give a fuck about the other one. So I'm glad I've only got the one.
And why she thought Luke was so strong? Like, you got this. Like, you got life. You got it.
You got it by the balls.
Your brother, maybe not.
So anyway, he tells her bye, and he's going to leave, and his brother walks over and hands him a banjo, and he's like, "There you go.
Nothing to come back.
Nothing to come back for."
He's like,
that's fucking heavy, man. That's heavy stuff.
Talk about detachment.
Right.
No worldly attachments to anything.
Here's your banjo.
You
piece
are
of
a
shit.
free man.
Yeah, right.
Go live on a beach with your banjo, but you're in a prison.
Yeah, he is in a prison. He plays the shit out of that banjo, though, boy.
Yeah, so man, it's a hard scene. It's a great scene, though. It's if you're, I don't even know how to explain this. It's a great scene.
The storytelling that they're able to do with the limited capabilities that they had at the time, it's surprising how well it comes across. It's very, very beautifully written.
Yeah, I rewatched it like this time, like from front to back, and I was like, man, it's so good.
This is probably my
Shawshank Redemption, like good.
This is
like,
probably like my 15th viewing of Cool Hand Luke, but I swear to you, I have probably not seen it in 12 years.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen the full movie. Like I've seen parts just because I know the scenes I really liked in the movie. So one scene specifically, like that we're coming up on, we're kind of going through this.
Okay.
So Luke has become this person within this prison camp, this jail.
Yeah, everybody thinks he's like
super
cool.
Yeah, he's like,
he's the Fonz.
He's like, well, he's earned his respect. He's
yeah.
Like, this is what you're gonna have to do.
He found the biggest guy in there and had that guy beat the shit out of him.
Well, but also is like he's like he has put his stance on everybody. Like, this is my standard. This is what you're gonna have to do if you want to mess with me. It's like it's gonna suck for everybody.
Yeah, it's gonna suck for you too.
Yeah,
because I am difficult to break.
Yeah. Impossible to break.
Well, he's not impossible. They do break him at one point. And he's like, even later, Drag's like, he's like, oh, they thought they broke you. And he's like, no, you can't fake that shit.
Yeah.
They had me.
Yeah.
They broke me. But they didn't fucking break my mind.
But the will inside.
Yeah, exactly. It's two different things. But boy, it is the rest of the movie is this system grinding this man down. And god damn it, man, when it is fucking hard to watch.
But he is such a bright light of like, this is the darkness that overcomes everybody. But you can always stay positive. You can always like be a good presence for everybody else to kind of follow. And you don't have to bow down to nobody.
Right.
And he doesn't. And he's like, everybody looks at him at a certain point in the movie like he's a hero character. And he's like, stop looking at me like that.
Yeah, right.
Do it yourself, you motherfuckers.
Right, quit fucking idolizing me.
It's like, do not idolize me.
There's a bit that I really like is when they start building a little camaraderie, is when they're out there working the road and they're spraying tar on the road. And then those guys are shoveling, like peat gravel on top of the tar. And there's a bit where he's just like, one of the guys is like, faster. And he's like, oh, you want faster? I'll give you faster, boss. And they just like, they make it a race.
Yeah.
And they get done with the whole road.
And
they're
like,
like,
what do we do now?
we do nothing. And they just all fucking have a good laugh. Like, we got done with all of our work 2 hours early.
And one of the main bosses or prison guards, he's blind, I think. Maybe. Something like that.
They speculate.
They
He's blind.
speculate
You
he's
never
blind.
really know because he wears the aviators.
Yeah.
But he can't be blind because he's a
He-
fucking crack shot with that
Right.
rifle.
But like everyone is trying to. No one understands that Luke doesn't care about their opinions at any level. Like he's gonna be him at every single level, like at prisoner level, at jail guard level, at
Mhm.
the head of the jail level.
Yeah.
Like you're all on the same level as me.
Right.
We're just different in what we're doing,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
and he brings everybody to that.
So let's talk about, I want to talk about how much gambling they do in here.
Well, I mean, they do a lot of gambling.
They
I
love
mean,
a lot of gambling. I tell you this, though.
How many eggs?
I can
do you
eat 50 eggs. 50 fucking hard-boiled eggs. Are you out of your goddamn mind? 50 fucking eggs? In your mind, just close your eyes, Jackson, and imagine a dozen eggs.
I could eat like 6.
Now imagine 4 more of them. Yeah, I'm thinking if I am starving, maybe 10?
Yeah, I could probably eat 10.
Maybe 10. I could do 10 eggs and I would be about ready to fucking pop. 50 fucking eggs? Get out of here, bro.
Yeah, Luke so Dragline, the guy that he fights early in the movie.
Oh, yeah, they're buddies now.
Like they're buddies at
He
this
always
point.
he calls him his little buddy, his
Little-
baby.
Yeah, my little baby. He's like, yeah, I got it. He's the guy.
My boy says he can eat 50 eggs, then he can eat 50 eggs.
So,
Nobody can eat 50 eggs. That'll
there-
bust a man's gut.
yeah, and he's like, Luke just said he could do it, or whatever, and
Yeah, he's like,
then,
oh,
and then
but-
after that, he goes up to Luke. He's like, "Why didn't you just say 35?" He's
yeah,
like, "Ah,
seemed
50."
seemed like a good round number.
Good round number.
50 eggs in an hour.
in an hour.
He even puts a fucking time limit on it. 50 eggs in an hour.
So they do like a 2-day montage of like,
Dude,
of running around the camp.
everybody's betting on it. And then there's a bit where he's like, "Oh, pay up." He's like, "You know what? I'm gonna put in my last 50 cents or whatever." And the guy's like, "Come on, big baller, where are you at?" And he's like, "I think you've got literally every
It's like
dollar in the camp is
all
riding on this."
of the money in the camp is on this bet.
Yep. And what's he do?
He eats 50
He
eggs.
eats fucking 50 eggs, which I'm
In an
calling
hour.
bullshit on.
Yeah.
Although I did see. Hold on, let me pull it back up here.
I thought it was funny, like when the one guy like
Did
he's at like 35 eggs, and like the one guy runs up to him and like touches his belly, he's like, he's about ready to burst. It's like, yeah,
He's getting another 15 down there, easy, man. Don't even worry about it. See here, world record eggs eaten in 1 hour. What do you think it is? I will tell you this: the world record is not for eggs in 1 hour; it's for eggs in 8 minutes. How many eggs you think, Jackson?
25.
The title holder is Joey Chestnut, who devoured 141 eggs
He's a freak.
in 8 minutes.
He
Yeah, I
likes hot
don't think
dogs,
that's
too.
a man. I think that's a trash can is what that is. I think they just dumped 141 eggs in the trash.
What do you think his poop looks like?
Probably eggs. It probably comes out like bullets.
Probably
Could
has
you
some-
even digest 140?
gross-
Surely he puked him up after.
like? You couldn't live in a house with that guy.
You got to swallow them whole, right? Or would you have them raw and just drink them? That would be probably the biggest space saver, I would think, because they expand when you cook them, right?
Would you burst?
I don't know. I mean, like, you can. Like, that's a
I'm
thing.
thinking a 1967 person. Like, yeah, I think you might burst.
Well, they train for that shit. I mean, like, people that eat competitively, they do shit to stretch their
Yeah.
stomach.
Well, they physically stretch Luke's stomach.
Oh, yeah. He's like, we got to get that
it's like
belly stretched
part
out.
of the training montage. Like, let's stretch this thing out.
Right. Yeah. Oh, man. It's so delightful and fun. Like, all these guys are having so much fun. So you might be wondering to yourself, so what does he do? He just works in prison and works off his fucking whatever and then he leaves? No. He escapes.
So
How many times?
3 times.
3 from the same fucking place. The part that really blows my mind is that they take him back.
Yeah, they take him back and be like, but they put him in the hole.
They do put him in the hole. In
And
the
the
box.
hole is shit.
In the box.
In the box. So the box is just a box with brick floor,
It's like, I don't know,
cobblestone floor, maybe.
3 by 3
and a bucket.
Just a 3x3 fucking broom shed.
So the first time he escapes, it's after his mom. Like he finds out his mom dies, and he plays
Right.
banjo. He kind of loses his shit. He's like, all right, whatever, fuck this.
Yeah, well, they put the chains on him.
Yeah.
Because they're like, listen, a lot of times, fella's mom dies, he starts getting that rabbit blood in him.
I was like, well, you put the authoritarian slap on me, all right.
Yeah. So
You just challenged me as a person.
Yeah. So they put the old ankle bracelets on him. Think he ain't going nowhere, and he fucking gets out of those
out.
too. He's fucking
He's
out,
gone.
baby. He's out and he's gone. And they're like, how far'd you get? He's like, 1.5 miles. I would have assumed 6 or 7 miles.
It seemed like he went
Seemed
forever.
like he went for a really long time. Maybe not though. Maybe he was just out having a bit of fun.
They had a bunch of cutscenes in there.
They bring him back, and he's like, "Fuck!" And now they're like, "Now you got now you got him on forever, bro, and you're gonna stay in the box for X amount of time, and fuck you."
Yep. And so the second time he escapes, they're doing road work again, and he has to take a go to the bathroom.
You gotta take a shit.
He wants to hide though.
Yeah.
So like when you go to the bathroom in the woods, you gotta shake a branch.
Shake a branch, yeah. Let them know you're still there, or they'll shoot you.
They will shoot you.
Yeah. And he's like, what he does, very clever. He just gets a long piece of string, ties a string to the branch, and he's shaking the branch as he's running away.
He's like, "Boss, I'm here."
I'm here. I'm still shaking it, boss. Yeah. So he's able to get away on foot this time, and then when he comes across those 2 kids,
Oh, that is one of the best scenes. Like,
he's like, I bet you can't even heft an axe, boy. He's like, yes, I can.
reverse psychology. At its
Yes,
best.
I can. I don't think you can. Yeah, I'll go get one right now. Okay, you do that. Kid brings him the axe. He's like, you better let me have it. Cuts his fucking chains. Tells the other kid, he's like,
It's like,
you want to see
Go
something
get some chili
hilarious?
powder.
Chili powder, coriander. I don't remember what else.
Yeah, he
asked
says a
for.
bunch of stuff.
Spicy shit. And he fucking dumps it out all over the ground because he's got bloodhounds on his tail.
He's like,
Yeah, and he's like, you get in there in the window and you watch when them dogs come through. You
in
make
20
sure,
years, you tell me.
You
He's
make
like-
sure you remember. I'll be back here. I'll be back here someday. You tell me all about it. God, fucking hilarious.
And those
man.
those hounds go wild. They're like,
Oh,
it's bad.
yeah.
Like they don't know what to do.
Well, we're visual creatures. You know what I mean? So we're like, I would say audibly, probably 25%. Scent is probably 30%, and literally everything else as far as our senses are visually concerned.
Yeah,
Those are just estimates. I
have no idea.
Have
but
an
it
idea.
sounds about right.
A dog is like 99%
Smell.
nose. Yeah.
It's like
So that would just fucking absolutely rock your world.
those hounds just went off. They're like, oh my, like
Get
they didn't know what to do.
a fucking nose full of coriander. Hard pass, dude. Hard pass. So he's able to stay out on the lam for a little longer. He has a fake picture made up of him and some sexy ladies.
I don't know if it's fake or not because he says it's fake, but they all believe it's real, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, "Man, you're out of prison. Like you're like we
You're
seen you on
living-
this magazine.
You're
like,
living it up.
You're living it up. Like you were living the life that we wanted. Like we were all rooting for you." And he's like, "No, that wasn't me. It's like it was made up. Like
It's a phony.
does he want him to believe that it was a phony, or does he truly just did he make that up?" I kind of feel both. Like he doesn't want them to believe that he's an idolist person. Like do not,
Yeah.
it's part of him. Like even if it was made up, he wouldn't do that. You know what I mean?
I think it's a bit of fun.
Yeah.
So anyway, he's got to fucking break out again. How's he go about it?
Yeah, so he breaks out the third time. Actually, after the second time when he breaks out, they make him dig that fucking hole.
Oof, and that's where they break him. They're like, "Hey, Luke, listen here. See this? That's my ditch. Why is all this dirt in my ditch? Get it out." And then they'll have somebody come around on the night crew and be like, "Hey, what's all this dirt doing in my yard? Put it back in that hole."
So there's
And
a
they just-
no-win situation for
No,
him.
and this goes on for 2 days.
But what I really love about this is that Luke doesn't change. He's like, "Yes, sir. Yes, sir."
He just keeps
It's
digging.
like what the authoritarian part of this wants is for him to lash out at them. Like this doesn't make any sense. Like this is stupid. Why are you making me dig a hole and contradict yourself and saying whatever? It's like
Right.
they want him to lash out.
Yeah.
He doesn't lash out. He just does the work. And he's like, "I'm just gonna do it. I don't really care." It's like you don't matter to me.
Yeah, I
I'll
can just do the work.
It's fine.
Doesn't matter. It's fine.
Like you don't bother me.
Yeah.
Like your presence doesn't bother me. I'll do it.
Am I doing this or am I playing cards? I don't care.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
I'm living still,
Yeah,
right?
Doesn't matter. I'm
I'm
fine.
good.
Yeah. man, they do that to him until he does eventually just fucking kind of have a breakdown.
Yeah.
And when he does, oof, man, it's fucking. He's like, please God, oh, please God. And like you find out that he's atheist, he doesn't believe in God. And he's like, please, what's that name you said, boy? Please God, don't hit me no more. Oh, please God. And they finally, they're like, you got your mind right, boy. You get in there and get cleaned up before we give you what fault.
Yeah, he's like, all right.
Yeah, and he's out. And then later he makes another escape. He's playing the whipped boy. He's got his mind right. He's like, oh, go fetch my rifle, Luke. And he'll go get the rifle for the
Sure,
guy
boss.
or whatever. Yeah, sure thing, boss. He shoots a snapping turtle. Oh, you got it, boss. You got it. You got it. Sure thing. Go fetch that turtle. Boy, he dead as a doornail. Won't let go of this stick, boss. You sure got him. All right, why don't you go clean that for our supper? And what he has done is taken the keys out of every vehicle there and gotten the last truck with keys in it and just fucking took off. And fucking his buddy just hops in with him.
He's gone.
Oh, yeah. Yep, and then they're out on the lam by themselves, and he's like, "Oh, Luke, we gonna have us a big time." And he's like, "No, I think we'll probably split up." Dragline's just brokenhearted because he's too dumb to make it out there on his own.
Yeah,
boy, he ain't got the wits.
Yeah, and that's what Luke feels so bad about around, like, everybody around him, even the guards, the prisoners, the guards, like everyone around him is like, just think for yourself. Live your own life. Like, do not follow me.
Yeah.
Like, do you.
You're looking for somebody to follow.
It's like, just, like, be yourself, please.
Right.
It's like, I'm doing what I want. Like, I'm just doing this. I don't really have a rhyme or reason, honestly.
Stay there and play cards, man. Stay there, play cards, finish your 2 years, and fucking get out.
Yeah.
But he didn't. He saw Luke fucking revving down the road, tearing down the road in that truck, and just couldn't help himself.
I got to go with him. He's my man. He's like, I'm going.
So they split. We're closing in on the end of it now.
Yep.
But they split, and Luke goes into this church, and he goes to have a conversation with God.
Yep.
And it goes about how you think it would when somebody just goes into a church and goes, "God, are you there?" And then nothing happens.
Well,
and they're like, "Well, that's what I thought."
There's a few times in this movie where he's, he kind of even to the extent of challenging God, and of like, when he's standing in the rain, he's like, "Strike me down" or whatever.
Yeah, he's out.
He's like, "Well, it looks like I'm just standing in the rain."
Right. Yeah, he's out there in that thunderstorm, holding big metal tools over his head and shit.
And everybody else is scared to death. They're all inside. They're like, "Oh, what is he doing? He's gonna die. You're gonna die, Luke." You're like, so be it.
Just standing in the rain, baby.
But he's also like, so be it. It's authoritarian to nobody.
Right. Yeah, right. Lieutenant Dan was angry. So it reminds me of is that bit where he's in Forrest Gump where Lieutenant Dan's up at the top of the mast or whatever, and he's just like cursing at God. No, I fucking loved it. He goes in there and he has this conversation. He's like, "Oh, I guess you're a tough sod too. I am. And you and me have never seen eye to eye, and you ain't dealt me a hand in a long time. And why would you? Because I destroyed some municipal property. I'm a bad guy." Which I thought was super delightful.
Yeah.
I really like that.
And then when he's the church gets surrounded by the guards.
Dragnet walks in through the back door.
And he's like, "Hey, Luke,
Dragline, not Dragnet. That would be wild if fucking Dan Aykroyd and Tom Hanks.
Yeah, so Dragline comes in and he's like, "Hey, Luke, they're real mad.
We're surrounded."
He's like, they got more guns out there than I can even see. It's like, but I talked them out of it. You just come with me, and they'll forgive you, and you'll be able to go back to you'll be able to go back with us.
Everything will be all right." Luke has a little
like,
laugh, and he walks over to the window.
Well, and this is so beautiful because he teases at the man, the prison guy, the main guard,
captain,
that had once said, "What we have here is a failure to communicate."
Yeah, he hits him in the neck with that fucking slapjack. Ugh.
Gets shot.
Yeah. So he cracks open the window and he's just like, "What we have here is a failure to communicate." He gets shot in the throat, I think.
Yeah, that's a weird shot.
Yeah, it is a weird shot because that guy meant to hit him in the throat. Then.
Yeah. When he started being a man, whenever he was, to his dying death, he was that person.
Yeah.
He was never going to back down.
Yeah.
From anyone.
So tell me, Jackson, if your thumbs were eggs. If you had 10 fingers, just imagine they're all thumbs, but those thumbs are actually eggs.
What about deviled eggs?
I'm liking it. I love deviled eggs.
I do love deviled eggs. They're so good.
They are so fucking. So
I could
good.
eat. I could eat
I don't
maybe
even
50
like
of those.
if somebody was like, "Hey, I'm making Thanksgiving dinner, except no ham or stuffing or turkey or any of that. I'm just having
Hold up.
deviled eggs." I'll be there.
What if it was the opposite? I'm making ham, turkey, and all this. There's not going to be deviled eggs though.
I'll bring my own deviled eggs. That's fine. It's not a big deal. We might eat some deviled eggs after this. That sounds fucking delicious. How many deviled egg thumbs you give this?
This is gonna be a first for me. I'm gonna give it 10.
You going 10 egg thumbs?
I don't know if it's a first.
I'm gonna give it a hard 9. I mean,
Hard
this
9.
is still one of my favorite movies ever. Cinematically, it is a bit. I wouldn't even say it's necessarily boring. You're just like, wow, this has come a long way.
Right.
Yeah. But the remaster that I watched looked fucking great, man. I mean, like color palette and everything. Some of the bits where they're out there working in that ditch and they have it's like dust and the sun is setting and everything's red. It just looks like fucking hell on earth.
Yeah, it does.
I really love the way it
Even like
looks.
when he like gets thrown to the ground, he gets mud on him or dirt on him, and it's like mud. It's
You know what?
sweaty and he's mud.
I'm gonna bump it up. I'm gonna bump it up 9.5 deviled egg thumbs.
All right.
I fucking love everything about this. Is it the best movie ever?
It's
I don't know, but
great
it's pretty
story.
fucking close. It is a great story. And with every great story, there's also another thing that somebody made that's a bad story. And we are going to go check out something that probably fits that description. We're going to go watch Escape Plan 2,
The second one,
Hades.
Hades.
We were going to watch the first one, but it's like 35 minutes longer or
let's
some
go
shit.
with
And I was
the
like,
second one.
You know, we
Okay.
got stuff to do. But we'll be back in a bit, and we'll be pretty sauced, and we'll talk about that. Here's a little metal thing.
We're gonna get up in it, boy.
Welcome back. We watched Escape Plan 2.
From Hades.
Escape Plan 2 Hades. It's a
Hades.
R-rated 2018 action thriller, 1 hour 45-minute runtime. You can watch it now on HBO. I don't know why you'd want to though. It's got a 3.8 out of 10 on IMDb and 8% on Rotten Tomatoes. 65% of Google users liked it though.
Mm-hmm.
Release date June 29th, 2018. Directed by Stephen C. Miller. It is the sequel to Escape Plan: The Extractors.
Oh, it was the Extractors the first time.
I guess so. Production companies, this is a Lionsgate Grindstone Entertainment joint. Cinematography done by Brandon Cox. This stars Sylvester Stallone, I guess.
Well, he's in like at the end.
He's probably in 15 minutes. He's in enough of it to be top billed.
Yeah.
Stephen C. Miller, nope.
Well, there's a good chunk of it though.
Dave Bautista, 50 Cent.
Oh yeah, 50 Cent is.
Huang Xiaoming, Jesse Metcalf, Wes Catham. God, there's so many fucking people in this movie. Tyrone Woodley, Vincent Young, Titus Welliver, and you know what? That's good enough.
Good enough.
Yeah,
that's a long
good enough.
list.
Jackson, what would you say this is about?
This is.
Without spoiling it for our good friends, I'm starting to get a little sloppy here.
Oh, yeah,
so you're gonna have to carry the team.
I don't know if I can carry this, but you know we got this. So this movie was about an escape.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah, bro.
It was an escape,
Yeah, they got the fuck out of there eventually.
and
Okay, I got you. I'm gonna defer. I'm gonna take that one back.
all right.
I will receive this half. We should do a coin flip.
Let's.
You know what I mean? Next time we should do a coin flip as far as like who says what
Like,
the
you
movie's
gotta figure
about.
this one out.
Yeah, who says what the movie's about? Yeah, I think we might actually include that. That's fun.
Yeah, I like it.
So this is, man.
This is an escape plane.
It's really dumb.
No,
So
hold on, I got it.
there's a hold on. I got it. I'm gonna give me less than a minute. I'll do the whole thing. There is a bunch of financial backers that lost a bunch of money on a like a gamble shell company situation, and so they enlist the help of this guy that runs this crazy fucking supermax prison.
Yeah,
And
it's an automatic prison.
It is an automatic prison. Sorry, let me eat
It's
this
like
microphone.
it's like a electronic. Like there's
Yeah,
not
very,
really humans.
very futuristic prison. You find out later it's underground. It doesn't matter. So they get these people from this anti-terrorist team or whatever. They get in and they get out, and they get a bunch of them. Some of them get arrested in this supermax prison, and then the other team, they gotta bust them out. It's a prison break. They gotta form a escape plan.
Escape plan from a robot, basically.
Yeah, it is pretty much a robot. Yeah,
With one guy that's playing. Damn, what's that movie? Oh man.
they're doing a Matrix. They're doing a Matrix a couple of times in this.
Yeah, they are, but also like where the guy realizes, or like your main guy that you're rooting for, like becomes the bad guy, like in the middle of it, and you're like, fuck you.
Yeah, you do have that. You do have that weird switch where you've got a guy and you're pretty sure he's just a misunderstood good guy, but no, turns out he's the bad guy actually. But that makes sense because everybody else is like, the team is fucking family. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're doing it's Fast and the Furious kind of vibe, I guess.
Yeah, you can see that.
Yeah. So through this process in this weird supermax prison, I was gonna do a brief thing, and now I'm just doing the whole movie. Don't stop it. We're still going.
I got
in
you.
this crazy prison, it's like a prison that rotates, and there's different chambers, and it's like a spoke, like a wheel with spokes kind of situation.
That's probably the best way to say it.
And they got to figure out how to bust out of this motherfucker, and they form an alliance with 3 hacker dudes that are always like, we are Legion. And then they sell that guy up the river on accident because they didn't know the real bad guy was one of the almost good guys earlier in the movie.
But he's the boss.
Turns out, because money.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they have this giant supermax rotating fucking futuristic prison in Atlanta, Georgia, underground.
Yeah.
Bullshit. Call them bullshit on all of it. All of it. I will say one thing that I really did like about this is at the end when Stallone is in it.
When he goes hard, like it's pretty dope.
Yeah, he does go hard on that guy. He gets him in like some sort of fucking
It's like
neck choke or whatever.
I thought he was
behind
gonna
the back.
flip him over. Like
Yeah, but no, he also chicken winged his arm and just fucking broke his neck.
yeah, that's a weird position to get caught in. Like
how'd you let that happen?
yeah, like how'd you end up in that position specifically?
Always getting into trouble playing with the Italian stallion. So I guess.
He's Rocky.
What are you talking? It turned out the prison did have one weakness.
One weakness was it was you.
It was you.
It was actually that door over
And
there.
that weakness, it was you. We're coming for you.
It was the door that the guy just ran through though.
They're talking about how impenetrable this prison is. And at the end, a dude with a truck just fucking drives right through the front gate. You're like, oh, okay. So there was technically a second weakness. You could have just driven through it with like anything. The effects in this are, they were trying. I don't even think so. When did this come out? 2018? Is that what we said? What did we say? What'd I say?
It seems like it doesn't even matter.
The
like,
royal we. 2018. 2018 this came out.
Is there an Escape Plan 3 already then?
Oh, man.
Because they alluded to it and I kind of got interested at the very end.
Oh, yeah. It's called Escape Plan, The Extractors.
At the very end, I was kind of like, I kind of want to see this next part of this.
Yeah, I guess The Extractors is the third one.
Oh, what was the first one then?
The first one's just Escape Plan.
Okay. Where's this?
Yeah, wow, this one's even worse on Rotten Tomatoes reviews. It's got a 25.
Danny, we should have started with that one.
4.4 out of 10 on IMDb. Just started with the number 3 in the trilogy. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I would like to give everything a fair shake, but I didn't feel at any point that it was necessary for me to have any backstory
on the Escape Plan.
on Escape Plan to go into Escape Plan 2. And I would like to say it's really nice to feel validated.
Yeah.
Because I didn't need any of that. They gave me everything I needed right up fucking top with this thing,
yeah.
as they would. The effects are lackluster. It feels like that's where they pinched the budget instead of casting. Because you like, for who's in this, just get Stallone out. Be like, where is he? Oh, he retired.
He honestly, Stallone is the only thing selling this movie, advertising wise. I don't think
Yeah.
you get it off the ground without him.
I mean, there's also Bautista.
Well,
Fitty.
he doesn't carry a movie. Nobody's going to the movies to watch Batista.
Let's see here.
But I mean, I like
James
Batista as a
Metcalf.
character.
I've seen fucking James Metcalf and some other shit.
Which one was that?
He was the other good guy that was locked up in Hades prison, which they also called. What else did they? They had like 3 names for that fucking prison. They called it Atlas, Hades, and the Zoo.
The Zoo. They definitely called it the Zoo.
Yeah.
What was the Genius? Genesis.
Genesis. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, they had like 3 or 4 different names for it. But I think one was like the computer system that runs it. You know what I mean?
That's what I was trying to think.
And they're
of.
just it's a dude. It's dudes. It's ominous dudes in suits trying to steal software.
Right.
That's what it is.
Yeah, it's just hacker versus hacker.
Yeah, and there's a weird super prison in it.
In
for
the
some
middle of
reason.
it.
Yeah.
Where they are.
Stallone breaks a guy's neck. There's some good hand-to-hand stuff.
There is.
It's not that kind of movie. Hand-to-hand combat.
Oh yeah, that's
is what I mean
that's
to
what I'm
say.
saying.
And yeah, I don't know. It was okay, I guess.
It's okay.
What? Yeah, but imagine that we had to do more than 9.5 minutes on it. What else would you say about it?
Oh man! All right, so this movie.
Okay, here's what I want to know. What would you do? We have to make Escape Plan 2.
Okay.
Doesn't have to be Hades. It can be a different thing.
All right.
Or it can just be Escape Plan 2.
Roman numeral 2 this time, though.
Right. Yeah, that's fine. But we get to make our own. What do you want to do to get this thing off the ground?
Oh man, that's a good question.
Right.
I mean,
I don't think you need Stallone.
no.
I think for as much as you spend on this, don't pay for that. I don't think it's.
I mean,
don't think it needs
he's
to be in
half
there.
the budget, at least.
He's a chunk of it. He's a chunk of it.
You know what I mean?
for
Like his
sure.
salary, he's like, I'm gonna take half.
Oh,
I've earned it at this point.
absolutely, absolutely, yeah. And which you would expect him to. I'm just saying, I don't think he needs. I think they put him in it thinking this will get people in the theater, and they might be right. You know what I mean? I don't fucking know anything about that shit.
Right.
However, for me, I don't care. To me, it just looks like, oh man, Stallone did another shitty
Just
action thing
yeah.
that's like whatever.
Just an action thing.
Unless after the fact I hear people going, actually, it's badass. Nobody ever told me Escape Plan was badass.
Yeah,
That's why I never watched it.
No one has mentioned like, hey, you should go watch Escape Plan.
Right? Yeah, haven't heard that one. I will check it out though for this show. I mean, if you guys want me to, write me to shittymovies@gmail.com. But so to make this thing better, first of all, I don't want it to be a fucking subterranean major city spinning prison. I'm thinking jungle prison, South America, Brazil, something hot and sweaty as fuck.
I'm trying to imagine that, but I'm like,
Doesn't even have to be a super prison. It's just got to be the kind of prison that's not going to be fucking easy to break out of. Maybe they fucking burn their eyes shut. Maybe dial that shit to 11. You
let's
know what I mean?
not do that.
Put a hot iron on their eyeballs. Yeah.
Fucking crazy
You have
people.
to think of how to break out in money. You have to you got to look beyond the walls. You know what I'm saying? This Stallone shit in this. Give me a dude doing
Any
an impression.
guy that's. But I do appreciate that he's in it.
Will Sasso. Give me Will Sasso.
Who's that guy?
He's from Saturday Night Live. Don't
Okay.
worry about it. I think he can probably do a good Stallone. It doesn't matter. But he'd just be the dude in the earpiece. Be like, hey, come on, you got to do the thing.
But hon, would you honestly watch this movie without Stallone being cast in it?
Yeah.
Like if you didn't know, like would you even know Escape Plan exists without him?
Not until I Googled bad prison break movies. And then yes, I would have. At which point we may have very well have watched that film, and maybe it's better, maybe it's better or worse. Or you could just go full comedy, get like a Vince Vaughn. I don't fucking know. Get a whatever. You know what I mean?
Holy shit, I love it.
Would be more entertaining than what it is, because
Yeah.
it like the things that it's trying to do to really rope you in. They're like, imagine this crazy thing, but don't think too much about it because we haven't worked any of those details out. And that's how every kind of step of it
We'll
feels.
figure it out.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You might be smart
Or
enough.
maybe it doesn't matter. They do follow through on the line that in the beginning when Stallone's talking to that guy, he's like, "You the weak point. You got to believe in the team
Yeah.
instead of your algorithm." And then later at the end of the movie, he's like, yeah, "Fucking, you were the weak point. You fucking, this person had a weak point. It was you, you bitch."
Yeah,
And then he breaks his neck, which is pretty savage.
it was.
What
It
a
was,
weird, abrupt ending.
right? It
Yeah.
was like I thought he was going for like a throw over suplex, and then it was like, nope, I'm breaking your neck.
Yeah. Yeah, just separate your fucking spine from your shoulder where all that shit comes
like,
together.
that hurt.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I was like, that hurt.
All right, man. Well, if I was going to make it better, I don't know. Put it on a fucking airship. That'd be fun, hey?
Like Con Air,
Yeah.
Well,
not Con Air, but like imagine a helicarrier from the Marvel movies.
Yeah,
That giant, it's like a battleship,
But kind of-
in the air.
and has a
That,
prison in the
but
middle
it's a
of it.
prison, like the movie Elysium, probably.
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, I know you haven't. It's got Matt Damon in it. He shaves his head. And he wears
Matt
like
Damon.
a skeletal suit.
Have you ever,
I don't. Here's the thing: is I remember all that shit about it, and I don't remember if I liked it or not.
I have no idea. I've never heard it, and I kind of like Matt Damon, but I always laugh at the GIF of is it GIF or GIF
I say GIF. I don't think it
of
matters.
when like Matt Damon saying Matt Damon like in Team America.
Team America, yeah. Yeah.
I always crack up.
It would be fun if it was in an airship. I guess make the villain more villainous, because he's not really. He does a good gotcha.
Yeah,
He does a good gotcha when he's like, "Ooh, actually, I was the bad
But
guy the whole time. Burned you."
it's weird because they do the gotcha in the middle.
It is weird because the
It's,
gotcha's
it's
in
like
the middle.
really?
Well, Stallone's got to get his gotcha.
Right? It's a gotcha movie. And I was like,
I
that's
guess, yeah.
it's kind of weird.
The ending just fucking blows me away. It's supposed to be a shadowy businessman figure, but it's a clear hologram of a man. Like you can see his face, but then when he speaks, his voice is garbled like the guy from Scream.
It's like, why
You know
are
what I
you
mean? He's got that.
disguising your
Yeah, well, yeah. When you just have a clear fucking picture of you yourself, the human man.
It's like it's like nobody cares about how you sound. You just need the picture.
No, it's fucking crazy. It blows my mind. And then Stallone's like, "I'm about had it with your shit, and we're coming for you. Believe it. We got this." And that's it. Roll credits. Roll credits.
that's
Super
it.
weird. Yeah, I guess so. They're setting up the third one.
You
Which
kind of got
happened.
me pumped for the third one
Oh,
though.
it happened. I mean, you can watch it. It's
Like
probably
didn't the ending
on.
to that. Like it was like, oh, let's go.
Yeah, fucking A, baby. It might be on Tubi. I mean, I never know. I could look actually. Let me look and see where you can watch Escape
probably like
Plan 3.
There's probably like a hint to an Escape Plan 4 at this point.
The Extractors. God, it came out in June 2019, and Stallone is still in it, and Batista.
Oh, they're taking up like 3/4 of the budget.
Wow.
Like they're just shooting at it like in his
That looks
basement.
like a lot. It says it's on Prime. Oh, you can rent it on Prime for $4.
Nice.
US. Ouch. I don't know if I would spend $4 on that. It's not reviewed well. But you know what?
Was there an
You know
Escape
what?
Plan 4?
Google is not the authority on things that were reviewed well or not. We are.
Yeah.
So, and everybody knows it. Everybody knows that it's true. Rotten Tomatoes adjusts their scores like a month later so it doesn't look suspicious when we rate a movie. Trust me. Except
Yeah,
that
I mean they are
don't,
definitely
actually.
following us. They're like, what does Danimal have to say?
What is this thumbs?
what's
wow.
Jackson?
I
What's
thought
Jackson
I
over
thought
saying?
we had tomatoes like fresh and rotten.
And they're like, no, they're doing thumbs over here. Thumbs with tomatoes on them.
So here's what I want to know. Here's what I want to know, Jackson.
Tomato thumbs.
How many fortune cookie thumbs? There's a whole bit where they
There was
slide
a
them.
fortune cookie.
They
and-
slide them food trays, and they're like, "Oh shit, there's a note in here, but it's just a fortune cookie."
No, hold on. It's funny because like everyone gets their own like item. Like it's like supposed to be like kind of dark gritty scene. Where, like they all get slid something, and this dude gets pasta.
And he's just fucking shoveling it into his grill.
And there's a note in the pasta. And he's like, "What the fuck is this?" It's like, "Oh, okay, this is my thing."
Big things coming your way.
I have no idea.
Your lucky numbers are 7, 14, 28, and 59.
Your zodiac sign sucks.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah. Put a crystal in your butt. Call it a night. Okay, so how many of those thumbs that I just said? What did I say?
So are these a bad movie reviews? I always say this every time. I think I'm going to say this.
How much enjoyment did you get out of this knowing it was bad before we put it on?
Man, That's good.
Out of 10.
Because I have two different levels there of like one that's where it's an actually a terribly bad movie.
It
and I have
ultimately
fun with
it
it.
ultimately doesn't matter.
This one's like in
I
the
say
middle.
in like every other episode, I'm like, if you think a different thing, you're right. So it really doesn't
Like this
matter.
one's in the middle. It's I'm starting from 0,
Okay.
but it's on the kind of the good side, not the bad side. So it's on the bad good side. I'm gonna say 5.
Okay. Gonna give her a 5, huh? Well, for my scale, if something is a 0, I hated it. Like it was an assault on my senses, and I did not like it. I did not enjoy myself. I did not have a good time. I would never recommend it to another living, breathing human being.
Yeah.
So, that being said,
Oh, that's pretty
really,
hard.
really bad things, I'll give a 0.5 or a 1 because
Okay.
they tried. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe
This,
I rated
I
it
don't
too high.
know.
Let me lower it a bit. I'm
Well,
gonna go
no, no,
three
no.
and a half.
I
Three and a
wouldn't-
half, because
you-
you're right.
You're
You're
going
right.
3.5. I was gonna go 5.5 with this.
All right, well, let's split the difference to both go 4.
Okay, yeah, all right, that works. You know what? We made ourselves a cool hand
We got
Luke
it.
deal here
Cool
at the
hand
table.
Luke at the
I'm gonna go
second half.
40% thumbs for fucking whatever this was
Escape
called.
Plan 14.
Escape Plan butt stuff. Next segment of the show.
Hey, what you watching?
Jackson, what you been watching, bruh?
So I've been watching.
God, I can't believe we did 20 minutes on that. God damn, we are good at this.
Seriously, that movie was like not worth 20 minutes of talking about.
Yeah, it's
I don't think
fucking
we talked
crazy.
that long.
20 minutes.
Man, that's a good one.
That's not bad. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I've been watching on Netflix Cowboy Bebop, the actual like not the anime,
The live action.
the live action.
Yeah.
So okay, I don't like read internet stuff at all. Like I don't have Twitter, I don't have Reddit, like never on anything.
Right.
So like I don't know anybody's opinion. So when like
Are you loving it?
so I'm getting there. Like
All right.
okay, so like my first impression of like of this Cowboy Bebop series was I was just watching episode 1. But so I used to know it back in the day from Adult Swim.
Yeah.
Right? So like I used to watch Cowboy Bebop. I had like it was an anime then.
3, 2, 1, let's go.
And it was like a underground jazzy buddy cop type of vibe.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's a cool anime.
Yeah.
But I haven't watched it in a long ass time. I hadn't watched like that anime in so long that I kind of forgot like what it was about. So I started watching this Netflix series, like not animated.
How many episodes would you say
I'm in
you're-
5, 6 now.
Okay, gotcha. You're
So-
in the nitty gritty.
I got past or through episode 1 where I'm like, it's got a little more upbeat feel, and I was expecting more darker tone.
Yeah.
Like it has a more upbeat feel on the first episode, and then you get the jazzy sense and all, like I don't know, all that. It's kind of cool in the first episode, and then like the next episodes get a little like darker.
Yeah. Well, they're almost 1-to-1.
Dark to good.
To the old anime, like the way that it's shot, even the camera angles, a lot of them are still 1-to-1. And man, I loved it. I was a big fan of that series. I thought it was great. A lot of people took a huge shit on it, and you know what? They're
Is it-
right. They're
is there
right
only
to.
one
I
season?
don't really give a shit. Yeah.
I haven't. Oh man. So
I really like John Cho
yeah,
as Spike.
I think he did great as Spike.
Yeah, I think so too.
I'm like, he fits the bill. Like, I mean,
Yep.
he makes that character, like he fits the style, everything is like, yeah, that is exactly who I thought it would be, like in real life. Like,
yeah, he's good stuff. I fucking really like John Cho. We covered him in the episode where we did the movie Searching. Yeah,
I haven't seen that one.
that's good. Dude's daughter goes missing. Like the whole movie's made on like a MacBook or whatever. Pretty good movie. Let's hear what have I been getting into? I've been playing Nino Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch, and It Takes Two.
Yeah,
It's an Xbox game. I think you and I were talking about that earlier.
yeah, you were telling me about it because we're talking about
Super fun.
the game that I haven't played, The Last of Us, or
Yeah, we were talking because that comes out in
Is that it?
January.
is that
Yeah,
it?
the series comes out on HBO in January.
And
yeah.
I was like, I should just go watch like kids do like the cutscenes like of the campaign.
You need the whole thing. You
Yeah.
need the whole thing. Yeah.
But I kind of want to know the story, and I don't know. I don't have a PlayStation, so I'm like, I just kind of want to be caught up before I watch the movie.
I have it.
It's always been one of those games like, man, I want to play it, and then
I heard the second one's not quite as good as the first one, but I've heard a lot of people be like, nah, it's every bit as good. So I don't know. Can't speak to the second one. The Last of Us Part 2.
well, there wouldn't be Last of Us after the part 1, would there? I mean, there shouldn't be an us.
Well, The Last of Us is plural. The Last of Us could be 10,000.
Yeah, but the last is singular.
Well, The Last of Us could be, 100,000. You know what I mean? Because it still is The Last of Us. If you took the entire human population on Earth right now, that technically is The Last of Us.
If you're considering a group of people. I gotcha.
Yeah. Anyway, the fucking show looks great. Really excited to check that out. Hope you should check out the game. But man, what I really
I don't have a PlayStation. That's what like throws me off.
Well, here's what I've been obsessed with for the last 2 weeks. I've been playing this fucking game called Marvel Snap. And we are in no way paid to say any of this fucking shit. It's just what we've been playing.
But you just told me about it, right? It's
it's like a
dual play
card
game.
It's like a card game.
Okay.
I'm loving it, man.
I want to know about it. Like you told me, but like better.
Did I tell you about it?
Is it where it's a couple game?
No. That's that. It Takes Two.
Oh,
this is a mobile game. I've been fucking obsessed with it all week.
No, let's hear that one.
Okay, so it's a collecting, like a deck building game.
Okay.
I find it to be one of the more intuitive ones to play, where it's like you don't necessarily have to learn a shitload of rules. Just what you see is what you get.
Okay.
The collecting aspect is really fun. I've super enjoyed that. I've been playing the absolute fucking shit out of it for like 2 weeks now. Loving that though. Having a great time playing.
So
that.
what are you collecting?
You collect like Marvel cards. Like let's say our basic card is like Cyclops.
Yeah.
And he has power. You play the card. Whoever has more power wins the location. There are 3 total locations. And each location has a different effect, if you will.
Okay.
So I can show you when we're done. I'll just show you a hand of it or whatever.
I'm sitting there trying to imagine
anyway,
it.
it's quite fun, and I really am enjoying the collecting aspect of it like way more than I thought I would. The artwork is fucking amazing. That's kind of what keeps me into it. But I also like the challenges that they have are. I don't necessarily have to win the hand to beat this challenge. I just have to make a certain effect happen during the battle.
Right. You just have to have a specific skill.
And they're fucking short, dude. I love short games.
Nice.
A hand of this game, 2 minutes tops.
Oh, and is it one of those like games where?
I mean, you're playing real people,
right? But like it's small.
I have no idea how long a hand of Magic the Gathering takes, but a hand of this game takes roughly 2 minutes.
I know our buddy Gary plays like some card games online, and he like.
I would say if you're like primarily into card games, this might be like too slow for you.
Too slow.
Well, because I have always wanted to get into a card game, but I'm always like, I don't know, this one feels fucking rigged, or this one feels fucking weighted. No. This one feels like if I don't pay money, I'm never going to get the cards that I need to build a good deck to be successful.
Right.
This one doesn't do that. Like it's the same shit for everybody. It's how you play it and how you stack it.
Yeah.
So it's got nothing to do with like some people just have a better card than if you're on a hot streak, you'll play somebody who's much better than you.
Right.
They might have a card that you haven't unlocked yet. But then you get to see it and you're like, holy shit, this is right around the corner for me. So it just makes you want to complete more it's a great game, man.
Well, I was playing with a guy. Oh, so what you've been watching is part of what I've been playing. I've been playing the new Modern Warfare Call of Duty.
How is it?
It's pretty awesome. I don't think okay. So as a person that didn't love Call of Duty, because I've been a Halo person forever, but like I could never mentally make the switch over to Call of Duty. Like I was like, it's too slow, too many campers. Like I don't know, it just wasn't me. But it's a different game style. But Modern Warfare 2 like was like the OG of Call of Duty. Like that's was like, man, that's the game. That's the game you wanted to play. So just having a reboot of Modern Warfare 2, I was like, I'm all in. Let's go. Let's play this game.
That's cool, man. Yeah, I like that. I got into I guess the first Call of Duty game I ever played was probably Black Ops. And by the time I got like even remotely decent at it, something else was out, and then everybody dropped off.
Yeah, I'm bad. I'm bad at Call of Duty compared to Halo, which I'm okay at.
You're all right.
Oh, I'm not. I'm okay. I'm not that good. But like, I'm even worse at Call of Duty. Like, I don't want to memorize the maps. I'm like, fuck this.
Yeah,
like,
that's kind of how I feel about Halo now. I'm like, I can't ever remember where shit's at. I'm getting stuck on walls all the time, and I'm like, man, I used to have them fucking memorized down to a T. You know what I mean?
It's like
I
you
could
used to
play
like
them in my sleep.
Care a little bit about the game. It's like, nah. At this point, it's boring. It's like,
right.
Or it's not boring. It's like I've used my mind all day doing like job things. I don't want to like get home and have to like figure shit out.
It's exactly right.
I mean, I just want to have fun, like play Fiesta or.
Oh hell yeah,
whatever.
Man. Yeah, exactly. No, and Alicia and I have been playing that. It Takes Two on Xbox. It's on Game Pass.
Yeah.
Super fun. It's like kind of a real cheesy way to get you into a game or whatever. But the gameplay and the puzzles, man, we pretty much burned through the first two pretty flawlessly. It takes a minute to get figured out like what you can and can't do, and then by the time we got to the third leg of the game, we got to a puzzle that took us probably 20 minutes to figure out. So it's a good like problem solving puzzle game that can only be played like via two players. I mean, I guess you could play it as one player with two. You couldn't.
You need two controllers. Like that's the whole point of like to have someone actually playing.
Yeah, exactly. As far as couch co-op shit is concerned,
like that's cool. It keeps it like I think that's really cool because that keeps like you and Alicia like close doing something. Like together. It's like
we love playing games, but it's a good one. It's a like. I don't know if you ever played Mario with somebody, but that can be a very frustrating. That can be a frustrating experience.
Mario 64, like with bananas and stuff.
I remember we played Mario Galaxy. We were having a hell of a time playing Mario Galaxy. Boy, we were just kind of at each other.
Like, that's it.
But this is a delightful two-player experience.
Yeah.
Like it's not competitive. It's cooperative.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which is great. I mean, although Mario is also technically cooperative, you can take all the upgrades and flowers and shit and coins, and you can just leave your teammate fucked. And you can't do that on this game because you have to work together.
So you can't complete a mission.
It's kind of like Portal 2. You ever play any of the Portal games?
Well, you're the last person to tell me about it. And
oh god, they're fun. I love puzzles.
Yeah,
and Portal's a really fun puzzle.
Nice.
Yeah, they're quite good. We got Portal. I don't remember if it was the first one or the second one or both. But man, Alicia and I burned through those fucking Portal games. We had a blast with those.
Honestly, I've been playing a lot of Call of Duty.
Yeah, that's where you're at. Well, I will. A couple of things that I want to mention that I have watched. Number one, I finally finished House of the Dragon.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah,
man,
I sure did.
I'm so bummed. So I don't have HBO. So I don't have it.
Oh man.
I don't even don't say anything.
All right,
I don't want any
look,
ruins.
if you wanted to know, I can show you the most brutal fucking 10 seconds out of the whole
please
season.
do not. I just want to. I want to watch
it's
it
worth
from
it.
beginning.
It's worth it.
It's worth it
Yeah.
to watch from the beginning. So I just want to do that. I don't want to hear anything else.
Okay. I will say that they're not jerking you around with the dragons.
Nice.
They're like, you like dragons? Boom. How about, imagine this. What about a bigger dragon? Boom. There he is. No, lot of fun. A lot of fun to watch. Cool series. No spoilers, but really enjoyed the finale for it. Even though I think I was like a week or two late. Been busy and also ill, so I got a license for it, so it's cool.
I wanted to I just wanted to watch it, and I was like, Gary was telling me about it, and I was like, man, I don't have HBO. Like, we should just bundle all these subscriptions together and call it cable again. And it's like
right.
It's like, right? So we can all like be on the same page and understand what's going on.
Yeah, you could. It would be nice now if they because it didn't used to be the case that every channel had good shit on it.
Right, so everybody had the same cable subscription.
Right. Well, there would be channels
Or
you
the
get on your
general.
channel. There would be channels you get on your cable subscription that
And
you
now
would
it's-
never watch.
Man,
And now that's
think
not
about
true.
how that-
I watch every single one that I have.
man, think about how that affects like just I don't know, the human brain. Like how it processes things. Like if I like watch certain channels
Okay.
over and over
Okay.
that nobody else overlaps, are we developing into different people?
That's interesting. Depending on the media that we consume.
Yeah.
Interesting question, Jackson.
Should I put my phone down?
Do you have your phone in your
Oh
hand?
no, I don't.
Oh,
It's-
okay.
I'm just like, all right. Well, that's everyone has their phone though.
Yeah, no, that's true. What are you talking about? Like if somebody just only ever watched stuff that was on,
So I
like,
legit-
like if somebody only ever saw stuff that was on Netflix and that was it, never saw anything else for the rest of their entire life.
Right.
That is an
Like
interesting
they
question.
had never started with like Channel 5, Channel 4.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like Channel 2. Like no one had
Yeah,
it.
well, I'm not even talking about the other streaming services. Like they've never seen anything on Prime or any
I
other.
haven't seen
like,
any. So I have never seen anything on Prime.
That's like if you grew up your whole life and only watched Channel 2 or whatever.
Exactly. How crazy is that? But I like some people have just never. I don't have Hulu or Prime, so I've never like watched some of the shows, which they sound awesome.
Man, we got fucking all of them. I hate it. I wish I could consolidate them.
But that's just how much I'm just not watching stuff. I'm just like, man, I want to watch more. But
I still rent shit all the fucking time. All the fucking time.
Yeah.
Stupid. That's what it is. Anyway, what other stuff have I been watching? I watched a movie called, I think it's called The Stranger. It's got, here, let me pull it up here real
The
quick.
Stranger.
This
Is it on Netflix?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know if I've seen that. Is that like a new one or a recent one?
Boom, here it is. Yep. 2022, The
Okay.
Stranger.
Is it a top 10 one that comes up?
It's got fucking Joel Edgerton and Sean Harris.
I don't know who those people are.
And you know Joel Edgerton if you saw him.
I need pictures like when he does. So I'm like, oh, that's it he's talking about.
Here, I got you. Joel Edgerton is this guy.
I know who he's talking about.
Yeah. And Sean Harris.
I probably know him too. It's like I know faces.
Sean Harris is this guy.
I've seen his
And
face.
he's just got fucking
They kind of looks like
crazy
Liam
eyes.
Neeson though, like
Anyway,
strung out a little bit.
It's based on a true story about the disappearance of a little boy, and how it was a thing that happened in Australia, and how they went about catching the person responsible for it. And
That's
it is fucked up, man. It's a fucked up movie, but it was good. I really enjoyed it.
The Stranger.
The Stranger. I love me some Joel Edgerton though.
Yeah, he's a good.
He shows up.
He's fun.
He shows up to work. You know what I mean? He's putting in the work.
Yeah,
I like him.
He does his job. Like, all right, this is the system I gotta live within. Let's fucking do it.
This is what we need, Joel. Hey, you got it, baby. Don't even worry about it. Jackson, you got anything else you've been watching, listening, reading, getting into?
Mostly been work during the day.
Yeah, I hear
mean, that
ya.
takes up. I don't know. This takes up a lot of time. I
Coming
should
off the
watch more stuff.
coming off the ass end of Halloween, I actually did check out a couple other things. I watched Barbarian, which is also on HBO. Sorry, Jackson.
I used to have HBO. I'm such like a bum with money right now.
Well, no, don't worry about it.
It's like
It's fucking. I just have it because of my phone plan. But it's like this woman. She books an Airbnb,
Okay.
and when she gets there, somebody else is already staying there. So there's been some sort of mix up, and she just ignores every red flag. And boy, I gotta tell you, that is all I want to say about it. Because anything else will spoil it. It is just such a fucking batshit crazy movie. If you have the opportunity to watch it, man, it's worth a spin, especially if you're not done with spooky season. You know what I mean?
I think I'm
if
done.
If you're not,
I put my
if you're
Christmas
not
tree
all,
up already.
if you're not all in on Mariah Carey's fucking.
Hey, how early is Christmas tree up? Early.
Now
Before
Now
Thanksgiving?
it's very. Yeah, I think so.
I don't know.
I don't know. Alicia loves to put it up like right after Thanksgiving. I'm like, ugh.
I just kind of like
That tree's gonna be so dead
I
and
don't know.
dry.
I like the family like bringing together part of. So I'm like, let's do that. Like, let's get the tree together so everybody kind of goes to that.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, you like the tree together. I get it.
Yeah. I don't know how else to say that. I'm just like,
Yeah.
you know, I think it brings family together. Like,
It's a lovely time, and
Yeah.
by the time this episode comes out, we'll be maybe, I don't know, halfway through November.
all right, nice. So perfect timing.
Yeah, it'll be. Yeah, you're not far off.
Did we
the
do the
mark.
Gizmo episode already? Like, or Gizmo,
Yeah.
the Gremlins.
Yes, we did. I suppose we could do another one this year if you want to do
Gremlins 2?
Gremlins 2. Electric Boogaloo.
It's been a while since I watched that one.
That's one I've not seen in
I
a
know
longer
Mohawk's
time.
in it, and again,
It's like it's more schlocky, if I recall.
yeah, but it's more like the bar scene Gremlins.
Well, they got the thing where they're there's the sexy lady gremlin. You know what I mean? It's that one.
It's
There's
like,
a sexy lady gremlin.
So yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean that's something we could do if you guys want us to visit that. Just let us know on any social network outlets. I guess we're on all
I mean,
of them.
it's just 2 movies. We're everywhere.
Yeah, that's
Well,
true.
I mean, Danny is everywhere.
Psh, I'm not everywhere. Maybe I am. Maybe I'm in your house right now.
He probably is. Like,
I could be. You know, you never know. It could happen. That's
if
all.
if you're listening to the podcast, you are.
That's true.
You're
That's
basically
true.
like
I'm
with
inside
us.
I'm inside your brain
You're
right
just
now.
hanging out with us right now.
I bet you want a chimichanga.
They do.
You fucker.
Mm.
All right.
I want a chimichanga
That doesn't sound bad, actually.
and a Coca-Cola.
I'll have a chimichanga.
Can we get sponsored by Coca-Cola?
Probably not.
All right.
No, they'll be like, there's too many F words. There's too many F words for the
Who-
Coca-Cola
It's
company.
like, who are these people?
Yeah. But that's all I've got. Appreciate you guys listening to the show, telling a friend, lying to a friend, telling them it's about something else that they would enjoy. If
But
they're
it's just 2 movies. So.
Yeah, really into cars. Tell them you got to listen to this podcast. It's just 2 movies. It's all about cars. You're gonna love it. Yeah, again, reach out if you like. It's just 2movies at gmail.com. It's just 2 movies on all social platforms. We also have a Buy Me a Coffee. If you'd like to sponsor the show, buymeacoffee.com/it's just 2 movies.
Hold up. Can you tell me more?
What do you mean?
What's more coffee?
What, Buy Me a Coffee?
Yeah.
They can donate $5 if they want to.
Like, is that a brand?
No, it's like Patreon, except I don't have bonus content at the moment.
Oh, that's you.
Yes.
Nice. I didn't know that.
Oh, we've had that for
Dude, that's awesome.
6 months.
I didn't know that.
We got like $55 on there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, not bad.
Dude,
Yeah, appreciate that. Oh, also, we have an Amazon affiliate link since Jackson evidently doesn't know any of this. We have an Amazon affiliate link in our episode description. If you're going to buy some shit off Amazon, just click that link first and we get a kickback weirdly. Not sure how that works, but it does.
Nice. What's
As we
ado?
say at the end of every episode of It's Just 2
I don't
Movies.
think we say anything.
You guys aren't gonna start sucking each other's dicks, are you?
Let's call that phone call for a one-eyed Batman.
Can I make a suggestion that doesn't involve violence? Or is this the wrong crowd?
Maybe we should call in a bomb threat to Houston. I think it's free beer night at the Astrodome.
The Jedi, Bob. We don't fight with guns, we fight with our mind.
Cousin, businesses are booming.
That is one big pile of shit.
Jog on.
It's Just 2 Movies is a production of Blue Cheese and Bacon Studios and can be found wherever you get your podcasts.
I just wanted to throw out a couple of special thanks for the folks that make this show possible. Big thanks to Brad Sexton for our jams, Lamplighter Production for our artwork, Godsized Growing for some musical guest appearances, and Dave, who's our YouTube editor. We probably wouldn't even be on that platform were it not for him. If you want to check out anything any of these amazing people are working on, all of their links are in the description for this episode. If you want to contact the show, you can hit us up on Twitter or Instagram at It's Just 2 Movies. We've got a Facebook page now, so that's on there. You can always leave us a comment on YouTube, or you can email us at itsjust2movies@gmail.com. Okay, yeah, and if you like the show, like, subscribe, leave us a review. That stuff helps tremendously.
So then you have to just think broadly, but also at the same time, like, just don't water down anything that you do. Just think broadly about it.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess
I didn't give you an answer there. See how I did that?
Not exactly. Yes, I do see. I do see that.